And the genesis of this really comes from a statement I often hear, particularly from educated people, that Indians are somehow an ahistorical people, i.e. that we are sort of unique in the world and not caring about our past. That now this is a really astonishing accusation to make about what is arguably the world's oldest continuous civilization. Here are people who in normal conversation will throw up idioms and ideas and names and that appear in epics that are from the Iron Age. Every day, tens of millions of Hindus will chant the Gayatri Mantra, which was composed in a very ancient form of Vedic Sanskrit in the Bronze Age, depending on who you ask, between 3,500 and 5,000 years back. So clearly we are, if anything, a people obsessed with the past, obsessed with the continuity of our civilization, and it's a continuity that as we will discuss, we have bought with blood. So surely it is strange that we should be accused then of not having any interest in our history. If we were not interested, I wouldn't have been able to fill out this room at all. So what is the real problem? And I would argue the real problem is that intuitively we know that the history that we are taught, the history that is there in our textbooks, is actually false. And because we know intuitively that it is false, we tend not to have too much respect for it. So really, the issue really is, what extent is it false or by converse true? And the second question, of course, is then, how do we then begin to tell the story in the so-called correct way? Now, there are many reasons why our history has been mangled as it is presented to us today. And I will get into some of them, not all of them, because it will take way too long. But one of the very, very important reasons why our history is fundamentally flawed in the way it is presented to us is that it is not our history at all. It is really the history of foreign invaders. It is the history of the invaders writing the history of their invasions. And therefore, when you read Indian history, it is a long litany of battles that the Indians lost. So, think back to your history books that you have read or had to study at university or college or school, and it's about the three battles of Panipat. It's about the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. But you never read anything about the battles that the Indians won. In fact, we won quite a lot of battles if you go back and dig up our history. For the very simple reason, we know that, for the very simple reason that we are still here. And we won this continuity of our civilization, as I pointed out, through spilling a lot of blood. And we won quite a lot of times. And that is why we continue to exist, because it was not as if those who invaded us did not try to forcibly change and dominate us.